Birkdale Village is officially one of the hottest neighborhoods in North Mecklenburg. But if you try to find a home here, it might look like a complete and total ghost town because there's just not very many listings on the market at any given time. In fact, I got a text from my client Rich yesterday, which was the inspiration for this video, asking where are the listings hiding? Rich said, I wanted to ask, what's the market activity like in Birkdale Village? We went over there yesterday to explore and really like the area as a possible future investment area. But are things mostly off market over there, or do they trade on the MLS? Where are the homes? Now, Rich is not alone. If you go looking in that area, you're going to find the shops, you're going to find the energy, you're going to find things to do, lots of people hanging around, kids running around, movies and events, a lot of new buildings, a lot of renovation. But what you are not going to find is just a ton of homes. And so whether you are an investor like Rich, or if you're looking for a primary home, today what we're going to do is an audit of the Birkdale Village market. And what we're going to answer is, 1, is the inventory hiding? 2, is the premium that you're going to pay to be in a master plan area like this actually worth it? And 3, what makes this specific pocket of Huntersville and Cornelius so unique, besides the fact that the actual development itself straddles the line between Huntersville and Cornelius? So first up, what is Birkdale Village? It is a large shopping and residential community. It really is a village. Like, there's the core area with all the shops in the middle, and then there are homes, townhomes, luxury homes to the north and to the south, as well as the golf course and a bunch of golf course front homes. You see people driving around golf carts, and it's got a really strong community feel and sense to it. Now, there was some drama this past summer when the entire commercial part of the property sold for $273 million and change to NAP. Now, if you're not familiar with the history of this, side tangent, but it's important for you to understand this. The community was originally developed by Crescent Communities, and it's this big master plan. It really is just, they call it a village. It's a small town, but it's not the only development of its type that Crescent Communities has created in Charlotte. In fact, right now they are currently building and responsible for the River District. And if I've got a lot of questions about the River District, so Birkdale was essentially the proof of concept. Crescent Communities only does these sort of developments, and Birkdale was the blueprint for the River District. And if you want to know what the River District's going to look like in 20 years and all the news and stuff on that, I actually made a video on all the walkable areas and all the new and up and coming areas that you can, somewhere around this video, you will be able to look at those 2 videos on my channel. But this has been here for 30 plus years. This community is not going anywhere, and it's very desirable because it's one of the few areas that's walkable outside of the city of Charlotte. Now, let's talk about the invisible market. To answer the question, are things mostly off market over there, or are they trading on the MLS? 26% of Birkdale homes do trade off market or shadow inventory. And so what this means is, if you are strictly looking at Zillow or the MLS or Realtor.com or any of the home sites, you are missing out on one of 4 homes that sell. And there's a few different reasons for this, but one of the biggest ones is, like, it's again a desirable place to be. And so many times, especially if homes are a little bit more outdated, those homes will sell off market because it's easier to come to terms with either somebody that's going to rehab the property or just through brokers that do a lot of business in the area to be able to have a seller and a buyer make a deal come together. Now, one of the interesting things, both on market and off market, that you'll see is that even dated, unrenovated, not updated homes still sell incredibly fast compared to the broader area of the Huntersville and Cornelius market. The demand for this is really driven by the location, which is why you're not going to see the same need for finish level or how updated something is in order to have a home sell relatively quickly, right? Buyers are willing to take on a little bit of a project just to get into that particular community, to get into a walkable lifestyle. Now, it is an A-class property, so when you're looking at it, either from the investment perspective or just from the ownership, because any home you purchase should be an investment. At least if you got a good agent representing you, you should always treat it like an investment. And whenever you're looking at A-class property, you are betting on the long-term appreciation, right? So at current prices, interest rates, this is not going to be a cash flow asset. And honestly, a lot, not all, but a lot of the markets in Charlotte are not going to be any sort of a cash flow asset when you're looking at single family homes. And this is because as the city has grown so quickly, as a general rule, Charlotte, again, in the city, around the city, different story, but in the city and in these sort of centers, it's more of an appreciation play than a cash flow play. Because if you believe in the asset and you believe in these, I don't want to say macroeconomic, because technically it is geographically more micro, but in the conditions in which this area or Charlotte as a whole exists within, we have a lot of things going for us in Charlotte. And so even if we did see a market softening, areas like this will continue to outperform. And we saw that historically through actually 2008, 9, 10, when this community was closing out, because for a long time, it has been the place to be. And I'm sure for a long time, it will continue to be the place to be. Now, one of the interesting things that I also get questions about is, okay, so there's homes that are trading off market. And again, most of the people that actually purchase in Birkdale live in Birkdale. They're almost all owner occupied because, again, it's a very, very desirable place to be. But that can't be the only reason why you just don't see homes come up available, right? And if that's what you're wondering, again, you would be correct. The average tenure for people that are living in Birkdale Village is substantially higher than the Charlotte-wide average. And so people don't leave, which creates a natural inventory squeeze. And it's not just low supply, it's because there is high lifestyle satisfaction here, right? That's the whole draw too. And so, it's not just, you don't just see people that are getting their first job or out of college. You don't just see families. You don't just see empty nesters. You see a broad, diverse group of people here, which again is because the walkable lifestyle appeals to everybody these days. Everybody wants to get outside. Everybody wants to get some walking in, and everybody wants to live somewhere that has great food, great shopping, great things to do, all just outside of your front door. When you're looking at this data, it's a ton of volume, right, for the market as a whole for Charlotte. But when you look at for just Birkdale, it's a very, very low volume of homes relatively, because it's 23 homes in the last year, including off-market inventory. It's not very much. But we're looking at 6 days on market versus 24 for the Charlotte MSA average. And if we're taking into account, let's say, single family in there's 4 versus 22, and some of the single family in there is very nice single family, I might add. Townhomes, a little bit higher, actually. That's interesting. It might just be because there weren't very many, and there were some that were overpriced. That would be an interesting one to look into. So you do see people actually stay here much longer than the average for Charlotte. Not everybody, but many people, especially the people that stay way longer. And it's everybody. We already talked about this a little bit, but there's different zones of Birkdale, right? There's the townhomes and single family near the retail. There are homes in the neighborhoods to the south that are also part of Birkdale. There's also single family homes that are upscale luxury. They were originally built by Classica. And especially there are some absolutely gorgeous custom homes that were built in the early 2000s by Classica Homes. And so you've got a wide array of options. But if you're more discerning buyer looking for one of those more upscale homes, there's not very many of them. And so even fewer actually come up for sale. And if you want to be close enough to walk to coffee, far enough to not hear a concert series from your bedroom window, uh, then you probably want to be in one of the single family or townhomes that are outside of the actual central area, because even though there aren't homes in the middle of the shopping, there are immediately behind it, and it can you can get a little bit noisy. Now, Rich asked if there were homes that were invisible selling off market, and there are. 26% of them are. So that means you can't just wait for the homes to show up on your apps like Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin. If you want to get the best selection of inventory in this community, I personally run a shadow inventory search for this community or any of the communities where I have clients looking for very specific types of homes. And I directly target and talk to sellers to find that hidden off-market inventory. You can scan the code, click the link below to request a shadow search from me on behalf of you to whatever your criteria are. Or if you're watching this live, you can just text me a shadow search to 980-449-3750. And because inventory is so tight and you need to know about listings the second that they come on market, you can click the link down below or scan the code to join my North Mech VIP watch list, and I will send you property alerts as soon as there are properties in places like Birkdale Village hitting the market, even before these homes hit Zillow or any of the other apps. If you're seeing this one right here, this is the Charlotte Areas Quiz. I put it together. It has just a few quick, easy questions or multiple choice. It will give you, based on hundreds of consults that I've done with clients, hundreds over the past 3.5, 4 years, people moving to Charlotte, people already in Charlotte. It takes all that into consideration. You just answer, I think it's 7 multiple choice questions, super easy, and it will give you a customized list of recommended areas that you should do more research on, and I've got videos on each of them. We make it super easy because I know it can be overwhelming trying to figure out where around Charlotte is going to make you and your loved ones happiest, and I want for you nothing more than to be really happy wherever you move. So please check this out. I put a lot of time into putting it together for you because I want you to end up somewhere that you're happy, whether you work with me or anybody else. So if you have ideas for videos like this or live streams or topics, questions, anything, drop them down in the comments below. I do read every single comment. I really appreciate it because sometimes it gets lonely just talking to myself, and also it helps me know what videos are going to be the most helpful for you. So if you got ideas, drop them down below. My name's Lucas Roller, your realtor here in the beautiful Queen City. I love making these videos for you because it's important to get real market information. And so I appreciate you staying all the way till the end. Check out all my other videos. I share a lot of information on this channel and my other YouTube channels. And until next time, as always, hope to show you around